Oh, YouTube. Here we are again. Alright, so I want to make this quick video because it was on my mind and I wanted to share it with all of you. So, for those of you who are familiar with tripping, and, psychedelic trips and experiences and all, you may have heard of a term called a sitter. That's a person, for those of you who don't know, that's a person who stands by and sort of babysits, in a way, people who are tripping, so those people who are tripping don't do anything too crazy, because there's some kind of there's a person there to ground them back to a consensual reality. So most of the time I feel that people aren't very enthusiastic about being a sitter. I think it's maybe the psychedelic equivalent of a designated driver. You know, you're the guy who doesn't get to drink or anything. And so, I was doing some kettlebells today, and I was thinking about it as I was looking out of a window, and it hit me. I was like, wait, why doesn't the sitter take a small dose of whatever everyone else is taking? So, for instance, let's say if everyone's tripping on 1/8 of mushrooms, maybe the sitter can take 1/2 gram or 3/4 of a gram or something. And the reason why would be to maybe it can work in a practical way and it can work in a fun way. It can work in a fun way where the person now feels something and there's more of a trip for them, even though it's a mild trip, and you know there's no hallucination or anything at that dose. It's just maybe some giggly feelings and some enhancement of the senses. You know, nothing going out too far. And so it's fun for them, but at the same time it's practical because they can empathize more with the people who are tripping, and they can experience what they're experiencing, kind of tap into it in a certain sense. So when a person's tripping out on some kind of piece of art or some kind of visualization they're getting, the person who's sitting not only can maintain their feet in reality, so to speak, in consensual reality, but they can also have their head in what the other person is doing to an extent that they can say, oh, I know what you're doing, that's fun. And I can even tap into that because it's more like you're funneling it for me, but you don't get lost into it. And so in that case, there can be the trip can be much more communal, because the person, I mean, you know how easy it is to pick up vibes when tripping. The person who is tripping, or the people who are tripping, can also empathize back at the sitter, because now the sitter doesn't seem like an isolated person, or it doesn't seem like he feels different from the rest of the group. Although when I trip, I feel as if everyone in the world is tripping. I know it's a weird feeling, and I don't believe it, but it's just as if, like, if I walk around the street, I'm like, and I notice things I've never noticed, and I walk around the same street I always walk around, and I'm like, is everyone tripping? I mean, look at their eyes, they're bugging. It's all in my head, obviously, but nevertheless, I feel that if the person who's sitting, everyone else, takes some of the substance everyone else took at a much smaller dose, the experience can go much smoother and it can be much more integrative. And it could also help for integration too, when people are coming out of the trip and trying to understand the experiences they had. If the sitter had a little bit of a psychedelic, he can empathize more with their experiences and try to help them verbalize it more, or try to put more names to it or something. But I mean, to be honest, I know being a, you know, this isn't, I don't think this is going to increase the number of people who go out to sit, but if they do, I really think they should take something, and it should be the same substance that everyone else is taking. It shouldn't be a different substance. You know, I mean, if you want to like smoke some weed or something, that's fine, but like, you know, let's say if everyone's tripping on mushrooms, you should be tripping on mushrooms as a sitter. You should be, or not tripping, but you should be taking that small dose of mushrooms. Or if it's acid, you should probably take a quarter size of a blotter or something, or 1/8 of a blotter, if everyone else is taking a blotter or something, right? So it's I don't know. I'm not gonna say I came up with this idea. I remember it somewhere. I'm not sure where I did. I probably read it somewhere. I think one of the old school heads probably mentioned it in a book I read. But I'm just putting it out there on YouTube. So anyone who's trying to find information about trip sitting, will type it into YouTube and come across this video. They can get some insight into something they may have not thought of without this video. So yeah, it's just a little quick video, just a little tidbit. I want to thank you all for listening, and if you have any comments or questions about tripping or trip sitting, let me know. We can have discussions all day. That's what the internet's for. Okay, thank you everyone, and have a good one.